Good morning. So,
Good morning, ma'am.
good morning. So today we are going to start the penultimate session. So the last before session of the entire course. So today will be assessing learning in lessons using formative assessment methods and feedback. So last week I had given you homework. So I hope that you would have completed it. So LOI and LOJ, read through module guide, list down the activities to do in Unit 3, checklist, clear aims and objectives, a coherent structure, variety of learning methods, range of formative assessments, and a variety of resources that will be supporting your teaching and learning. So these are the checklists for your Unit 3. So any questions you have till now? Till now, any questions you have in your work? Those who have not completed your Unit 1, please do complete and submit because time is of essence here. Your schools will be closing and you'll not have your students in your hand to conduct your course. So please see that you finish it within this month. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for you because the next session starts. Unit 2 cannot be for one class and Unit 3 cannot be made for another class. Please understand the batch of students must be same. The class must be same. So you will have to finish off your lessons within this month. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for you to complete the course. Okay, there will be no extensions provided. Please make a note of it. No extensions will be provided for the course.
Ma'am, when is the last day of submitting all the 3 units?
March, we will go for upload.
Okay. And ma'am, in third unit, how many times we have to conduct that? Like how we are going to do in the unit 2? We have to prepare the lesson plan.
One lesson plan, and 3 days consequent activities must be entered. We'll complete that today. Okay, 3 days consequent activities must be taken into consideration. Only
On
one
the
lesson plan your
same
mentor will be observing.
on the same lesson plan, but 3 different activities.
Yes, say not same lesson plan. Lesson plan is for one period.
Yeah. For unit 3
After
also.
that, Unit 3 also one period lesson plan mentor will observe, but the activities of the next 3 days must be entered in your sequence book. That is sequence of activities. Activity log you have, in that you have to enter. It is same as what your mentor has done. So talk to your mentor. She will help you understand it. Okay. And those who have not started the Unit 1, it's going to be trouble for you because you don't have time. Please see that you're completing the assignments fast because once February is over, your exams will start and you will start saying students are not there. Please note that that excuse will not be taken because we are continuously following up with you for completing your assignments as on time. So let us start with learning outcome K. Assess learning in lessons using formative assessment methods and feedback. What are the characteristics of commonly used formative assessment methods? Why has the concept of assessment for learning AFL come to the forefront of many teachers' classroom practice? How do teachers implement AFL strategies in their classroom practice? How do teachers provide effective formative feedback to improve learning? So these are the things that we are going to look into. So when we are looking, so this is the first activity that you have to do. You will have to start with the lesson plan first and plan a sequence. So you can download the format, just plan activity. Write a lesson plan, one activity, and what is the sequence that you're going to provide using the format that you have got.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I have made the lesson plan based, as you have told in the last class, based on
You
the
have to
different,
complete, yeah.
yeah, differentiated
So,
learning prepared. You have given as a homework to do for this class, for the
yes,
upcoming class you asked us to do.
wait, Rupa, 1 minute. So first you complete that lesson plan of differentiated activity.
Yeah,
Then
that's done.
don't do any other column. Teacher activity, student activity, formative assessment. Only 3 columns for
Yes,
that.
yes,
Then
yes.
you go with the activity log of unit 3. Make a copy of it. So the next day, how your activity is going to be, make that activity list and you can show here. So we'll take 3 to 4 members for discussion. Lesson plan first and then the activity log. Download the activity log and prepare the sequence of activities. Put imaginary dates also so that we can understand how to go about doing it.
Activity log is in FIS, ma'am. It's
Yeah, it's
being
already shared with you. Yes, it's already shared with you. Unit 3, you have 2 documents. That is, one is
okay.
your lesson plan and activity log, then your observation format. So 3 you will have
Okay.
EOP.
Okay.
Ma'am, when we are making the lesson plan for Unit 3, we can make the continuation of lesson plan from Unit 2, or it have to be entirely different. Ma'am, your mic is mute.
Yeah, it should have a week's gap at least. So preferably not the same lesson because it means that you have not taken the review. So give a 1 week gap and go for lesson plan 3.
So some
Not the
entirely different topic.
Yeah, you can go for a different topic or the next subunit.
Okay.
Ma'am, just one more doubt, ma'am. The lesson plan that we have prepared for the unit 3, based on that only we have to make this activity log, isn't it?
Yes, yes. That's why I
Based
said
on
sequence of lesson, isn't it?
okay,
After
sequence of
that, yeah, observation, the subsequent components of the same lesson, you have to do it as activity log.
activity log. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Another 5 minutes I'll give you. Please complete the activity. Yeah, completed?
Yes, ma'am, I'm done. Can I share?
Yes, Megha.
Yes. Ma'am, here when I'm trying to share, it's saying that sharing is not turned on. You can request sharing.
1 minute, 1 minute. Share.
And
About my sharing, it is talking about. Yeah, now it's coming. Now you see.
yes. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, Megha.
Yes, ma'am.
Identify assets. Okay, can you just go down? Go down. We'll just look only at the activity that you will be taking for the activity log.
So
Okay,
activity
let us
log.
say one activity from this, you have to take it to the activity log also. I'll tell you. Okay. Let us say you're taking, there is a group activity. You need one differentiation activity, isn't it? Which is the differentiation activity in this lesson plan?
Ma'am, this one, second one, introducing neutralization, quick write wala.
How is that coming under differentiation? Where is the differentiation coming? It's repeating key statement and also writing it. So where is the differentiation coming? Do one thing, observing pH change during neutralization, make it as a group activity or something.
Okay.
So different acids and bases you can give and ask them to check with pH paper.
It is actually
You
when the
have to have
neutralization
huh?
It is a neutralization reaction activity.
Right, but different
Wherein,
groups can have different acids and bases, right?
right, ma'am.
So your objective is reached, but your content, your process, you're doing it differently. Asking them to observe with pH how the change is. After adding, say, 1 ml, then after adding 2 ml, after adding 3 ml, like that. Got it? Mika.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So convert that so that you will have to take it as a group activity. You have written here as group, but in the observing this one, it's not given and it is the same thing that is being done. Sodium hydroxide to HCl. So use different sodium hydroxide H2SO4. So depends, different acids you can use and you can use it as a group activity. Okay. Okay. Now remember, what is the date that you're conducting this? Can you just go up? Given a rough date.
Ma'am, just a
Worry about
rough date I have given.
27th. Okay, let us say 27th. Now go to the activity log. Others, please listen because this is where you will be making mistakes. Okay, go to the activity log.
Yes, ma'am.
There itself, because it's a drive, no, you can directly share it.
Yeah. This was
so here you have written, right? So this is one. So here you will have to slightly change it as a group activity. Date you have written. Okay.
Yes.
So please go to the questions. Slightly up, 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 not down. Look at the question. Why this activity was chosen? Okay, because students will be visualizing. Don't write the process or the subject. Did the activity help students meet the learning objectives? You will have to explicitly write yes or no. Yes, it reached because I saw the students doing this while they were doing the activity. They were having discussion, and no, the inferences that they wrote gave me the evidence that they have understood or they have met the objective. Or you can write, this was the objective, and as I observed the students or their worksheet clearly indicated that they have done stepwise, and no, the observations were recorded clearly. The discussions in the group also ensured that this has happened. Okay. Now in reflection, please others listen, because again, no, this part, many of you make mistakes in the activity log. Reflection is your reflection, not your student's reflection. Please do not write your student's reflection there, because many candidates write it during this activity my students learned. No, this activity showed me or indicated to me when I allowed them to form groups and work. Okay, I could see the active participation among the students. I could also see, remember, this is what happened in the class. The evaluation of the activity is what happened in the class. This is after the activity, what is your thought process? Okay, so here you will also have to mention, I got some students, 1 or 2 activities where, remember, all activities are not going to be success. So you can also mention during the activity, I missed out on indicating how, this is for an example, on how much amount the students will have to take. If I had added that, the activity would have given an even more better outcome in the tabular form, and the students will be able to correctly indicate the concentration or the volume that is required for the pH change. Got it?
Yes.
So wherever you're making mistakes also, that has to be coming in the reflection. Okay.
Yes.
Next. So this is one activity you have written. The next day's activity, Rupa, please listen, because again, this becomes a difficult chart. pH detective chart. So you have done it on 28th. Remember, only one activity in your entire 40 minutes period, you will be writing it here. Okay. So here also, write what this activity is about. Remember, everything should not be a group activity. So here you can change it as I've chosen students gain. You don't go with confidence. Write what was the objective. How did it reach the objective? How do you know that they have reached the objective? This confidence should come in your reflection. Okay, I could see them confidently answering my questions, which indicated that had given them a clear understanding. That has to come in your reflection. Clear? Okay, yes. So 28th, one activity. 27th is your mentor observed lesson. 28th is one activity. Go down. 29th and then 30th, right? But neutralization sequence strip and pH detective look same, huh?
Okay,
so you will have to change that. Okay. So the real life neutralization is fine. Okay, remember, real life neutralization they can do. And the last one, what you can do is directly related to volumetric analysis.
Okay.
Okay, the last activity, you can entirely make it as a lab activity, a test activity where the worksheet is provided. Students will have to find the volume of the acid that is neutralizing the given base, okay, with pH paper to the approximate whole ml only, not the points. In decimals, you will not do, only to the whole number you find it out. Okay, that way you can ask them.
Sure.
Clear? Others have understood? And see, need not be this lesson. This is just a sample. Others, have you understood? Yeah. Okay. Okay, Megha.
Yes, ma'am.
Next person. Next, anyone is ready?
I'm just give 2-3 minutes.
Sure.
As you give the feedback now, I'm just putting page.
See, it's actually for your understanding so that you can directly sit and work and no too many changes will not come in your work. That's the reason I'm giving directly with the templates.
And this activity which I showed you now, I cannot take this up for the assignment. I have to make another one.
You can.
I can make the necessary changes which you said, and I can.
Changes and you can. Yes, you can. Remember, you will have to mention directly or indirectly what was your objective in conducting that activity. Because remember, sequence of lessons, you are not sharing the objective. So one way or the other, the objective must be mentioned there in the middle column. This was the objective, and I knew that the students have reached because these were the things that they have done. Others, what happened? You can share.
Ma'am, can we take one activity from our lesson plan, which we have done from Unit 3, or no? We can't take.
You have not completed your unit 2. No sample you take. Afterwards, you can modify.
Yeah.
You have not completed your unit 2, so you cannot. Now, Megha, you can go through this. Yes, Rupa.
Regarding Unit 3 lesson plan, which I prepared, in that lesson plan, I have added.
What I am saying is, Megha completed a unit 2 long back, so fine. But you have done only recently, right? So give me a sample. Don't give me the final lesson plan. Now I'm saying.
Okay.
Because you may change after your implementation.
Okay.
Once you have done spoken with.
Will I show you my lesson plan? Unit 3?
Yes, you
Unit
can.
3. Okay.
You will have to break it into different rows, sir. You have this one, see, pre-learning phase 1, phase 2 should come in the second one. Second row. Don't put it in the same row. Rupa, you're getting me?
No, ma'am, I'm not getting you. How?
This 10 minutes one is a separate row. 15 minutes is a separate row.
Yes, ma'am. This is separate only, ma'am. This is separate. Space is not.
It is on the same row. It's in the same row. Can you see that? There is no line in between them. That means what? The row is same.
okay. I should put the line in between when the.
You cannot put the line in between. You will have to copy this and paste it in the next row.
Okay.
You cannot
Got it.
don't put a line in between. Okay.
Oh,
You will have
okay.
to see that it goes to the next row. Okay.
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Okay.
Because if you put a line, the alignment will change and the line will not stay stable. So push it to the next row. Copy or cut and paste to the next row.
Mhm. Okay.
Can you enlarge it a bit?
Okay, ma'am.
Can you go to the objectives class?
Okay.
No, don't do anything there. Don't do anything there. I just asked
Okay.
you, don't enlarge thing. Go down now. You have a scale in the bottom. Just drag it, it will zoom.
Okay.
That's all. Now go up, show me the objective.
As you told, ma'am, that will be the differentiated lesson plan. So we should put only one objective in the lesson
No,
plan. It will be for
no,
all
I
the.
just told you 1 minute. Go up. What is the aim? So for the aim, you have given totally as one objective. You will have to break this down.
aim.
See, for this one, fine, because no, I only asked you to write only one activity. But if it's for 40 minutes, all the learners, not all the learners will be able to, one, identify how language, literary, and structural techniques are used in the given extract. First is identify. Next will be explain.
Okay.
Why at the level of complexity appropriate to their readiness? That is age appropriate curriculum, isn't it? Why do you need that sentence?
Yeah, ma'am, because I just added because you told that all the learners are not same. So according to the
No,
differentiated
you should
classroom.
not add it. You should not add it in your objective.
Okay, okay.
See,
Right.
objective is not related to the individual students. It is related to the curriculum. Okay. Whatever your differentiation is a process by which you reach the objective. So objective should never be changed.
Okay. I'll remove this complexity. I thought that according to
At the
differentiation only
level
I should.
also of in a given extract, that much only.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that has to be 2. Now go down, go down.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, you shorten the.
Ma'am.
Yeah, enough. See, I told you, when you're saying prior knowledge check, please, this is for everyone. Use an advanced organizer. You have used their sentence cards. So based on that, you can use an advanced organizer. Remember all these things. Don't say that one lesson plan, only one thing I'll do. No, everything must be incorporated in your lesson plan. There must be an advanced organizer. There must be differentiation activity. There must be a graphic organizer when it comes to unit 3. All the 3 must be present in your unit 3. And finally, feedback or exit form also must be present. So you have to design
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lesson plan for all this. No, please, sir. I'm just telling you, recap. Don't move. Go up, no? So please use an advanced organizer. Pair activity can be a part of the advanced organizer, but not the main. Okay, so look at what advanced organizer name you can give and avoid questioning under formative assessment. Remember, questioning is inbuilt. So I told last time also, the questioning part should not be explicitly mentioned in the formative assessment part. Okay. Students identify with sound which creates. Now that is your first objective, isn't it? Where is the prior knowledge for it?
Through the sentence card only, ma'am. Through these sentences, I just asked them first I just want to know whether they know about the structure, literary, and the language.
Rupa, 1 minute. Prior
Yes, ma'am.
knowledge is different from introduction. You have put introduction also in the prior knowledge. Teacher introduces 3 headings. No, that comes as introduction activity. That is not a prior knowledge check.
Okay.
No, that has to come under separate row, Rupa. Time has to be given separately. All that must change. Okay. Can you go down? Go down. So which is your differentiation activity? Okay.
Okay, this one, ma'am. Task A, task B, and task C.
Okay, go down. Remember, task A, task B, task C should be given under teacher work, and what students will do in the task must be only mentioned in the right. Yours is fine. That area is fine. I'm not going into detail. Fine. Right. Now show me your activity log.
Right. Okay, ma'am. I just put it one only in hurry. Okay, ma'am. I'll do.
I need activity log. That link up only I'm asking, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyone
sharing.
else is ready? Anyone else is ready?
Only one I added, ma'am, just to show you. I'll add 2 more just for your review.
No, 1 minute. 1 minute. I told you to put the date also. What was the date in the lesson plan?
Okay. Date in the lesson plan. Okay, I'll see. Lesson plan date is 25th January.
Okay, let us take 25th. Now that task A, task B, task C, that activity must be the first activity here.
Okay.
One activity from your lesson plan must be carried to the activity log.
Okay.
And this will be the second activity, second day activity after the lesson plan observation.
Okay.
Then you have 2 more activities. You have to do it in the consequent days. Now this evaluation of the activity, learners worked in pairs to identify literary. Now here exactly what evaluation of the activity you're doing. Please see that this activity because learners worked in pairs. No, that is not evaluation, isn't it? What is your objective and why did you make them work in pair activity? Here it is explained why this activity was chosen. Did the activity meet the learning objective? How do you know? That has to be mentioned. Don't write working in pairs, encourage learners to discuss. That is something that you're writing general. What actually happened in the class must be written there. Why do you think that activity was a success? That is why I told you, please listen when I'm giving mega comment. Similarly, reflection also, you will have to write about, okay, you have written I learned, right? Okay, this is fine. Reflection part, you've written it fine, but evaluation, you will have to change. Others also can go look into her reflection part. This is fine. Using pair-based identification activity, I learned that some learners can identify techniques, but struggle to explain their effect. That is, remember, you should not be always writing the positive impact, you will also have to put certain pitfalls that you have come across. Okay, and how you overcome them, how you overcame them. This highlighted the need for more modeling and sentence starters in future lessons. Based on this evaluation, I would provide clearer success criteria and more guided examples before pair works begin. I will also include brief whole class feedback session afterwards so that misconceptions can be addressed immediately and learning can be strengthened. So now this is very clear reflection. Megha, now you're clear how exactly reflection has to be written. So this is the way you have to write your reflection for your activity. It need not be the same way. You can do up and down. Okay. All of you understood this part? Yes.
Okay.
Others understood? Sara, Yamini, Rohini. Understood this part? Because
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
this area, most of the candidates I've seen will write reflection of students. Okay, don't write reflection of students. Remember, this is about your learning. Okay. The next one, I'll just share the screen. I've shared already the PPT. When we are looking at assessment, what are the different things that we have to look at? The validity of the assignment, assessment, reliability, fairness, and there are other principles of assessment that comes into norm referencing, criterion referencing, assessment criteria, success criteria, achievement, attainment. So can you just look through and tell me what are the different names or what does all this mean? I'll just give you the others also. Please give me the meaning of validity, reliability, fairness, norm referencing, criterion referencing, assessment criteria, success criteria, what is meant by achievement, what is meant by attainment, and how exactly that you relate it in your assessments.
For all the topics we need to speak, ma'am, for all these, or
Any
we should
one or two, you tell what you're doing, the others will look at what is others are doing.
Okay.
You can share and you can do. You want to
Ma'am, I
find
want
out
to
for
share
everything.
my thing. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I have done. Can I just
Yeah,
can I
yes,
just
share,
share
share,
it?
share, share. Yes. Others can work on these vocabulary and tell us exactly how exactly you're going to do about
Ma'am,
it.
it's I did only a very small part. Only this much only I
Show me
have
the
done.
lesson plan. Show me the lesson plan.
Oh, I did the activity, not the lesson plan. Actually, I didn't make the unit 3. I don't have it. So what I did the lesson unit 2 lesson plan for that for an exemplary activity, I have made this. Is it okay?
Fine. This is again a differentiated one because you're dividing into 3 groups. And after that, discuss how this will affect them, right? Don't use bold, okay? I know that automatically the blocks will take it as bold, okay? Remove that, okay?
Okay, ma'am, I'll do that.
I don't know, one of you had used capitals everywhere. Remember, as per the writing etiquette, you use capital, it means it's a rude one. It's like shouting on the other person. So please don't capitalize your sentences when you're writing, filling up your form. Like I
Okay.
work in so and so school and all that, when you're filling up your introduction or your profile, you please avoid using complete block letters and that too in bold. It indicates a very rude manner. So don't use that. No, activity supported, not it supported the learning objective. How, this remember you're going to write after you have implemented the activity, Sarah.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
So you will have to write, during the activity, my learners presented this. The discussion went on this. Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
indicated to me that they were aligning with their discussions and their work was aligning with the objective that I had planned for them. You understood?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
has to come. Yeah. Yeah. Not students show better critical thinking. That is where the sentence different. Now, when you write students show better critical thinking when discussing solution, it means it's a student reflection, not your reflection. You will have to write
Okay.
that. I observed that the students show better critical thinking when discussing solutions, when the related questions or higher order questions were asked to them and they were given time to answer related to it, or when they were allowed to discuss an answer related to it. Okay. Not some students. Where exactly you feel that they needed guidance? Please don't write vague statements. It has to be very specific. I felt some students could not think critically because they were not aware of the scenario. Next time, I will
Okay.
be adding videos related to the scenarios as reference so that such students can view and have an idea about the scenario before moving into discussions. Got it? So that
Yes, ma'am. I
specific it
understand.
has to be. That specific it has to be. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, may I share?
Yeah. Lesson aim will be 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
It's up to you. Learning objectives, you start with the students will be able to and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
It's up to you. If you want, you can go with apply, analyze, create and all that. Okay. Because
Okay,
I
ma'am.
would prefer not to, because if it does not come to that level, we are not thinking on those lines.
Okay, ma'am.
Unnecessarily, we are putting ourselves in trouble.
Okay,
You
ma'am. Then
understood that they will mark it as and it will come out as a comment, and sometimes no, because it's a lesson plan, they may fail you. So
Okay,
avoid
ma'am.
going into that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, your objectives are fine. Next,
Yes,
for the lesson plan, no? No, this is what I said. First one is you should have a advanced organizer, short visual structured outline. Okay, fine. Observation. What exactly do you want them to? Okay, the advanced organizer you have mentioned here, but that has to come as a resource. Okay,
okay, ma'am. Then I'll mention
resource
it
it
over
has
there.
to.
In the
Uh,
resource, I'll mention because ma'am, I'll
no,
said
no, no.
like
That
I thought
image,
I will.
put it there. The image you
Okay,
put
ma'am.
it there, so that when
Okay,
it
ma'am.
comes to evidence, you can put related only will come, isn't it? From the
Yes, ma'am.
student's notebook. So that blank image must come under the resources.
Okay, ma'am. I'll add in resource also.
Right. That's fine. Okay. Okay, fine. That's what. Okay. Consolidated task. Now here you've set a short group, isn't it? Now, how many members are you asking them to become a group? That must be mentioned here, isn't it?
Okay, ma'am.
You are saying a short group. So how many students will make the group? And what exactly do you expect them to do, the group to do? Like how Rupa had mentioned, learner, that group A will have this task A. Group B will have task B. So what is the task you're going to do?
Ma'am, the task is that they are going to select one word or phrase and they're going to agree on what is the effect of that particular word or phrase in that text. That is the task.
So now what do you want the group members to discuss on? Now, when they are agreeing or not agreeing, how do you want them to discuss that on? Or what are the related questions you expect them to ask? So that has to be put there. Okay, the work.
Okay, ma'am.
Differentiation, okay. Confident learners, extended committing on working independently. Now, mixed ability learners discuss record. Differentiation, peer discussion, supports verbal mixed grouping, enables peer scaffolding and confidence building. Group engagement. Now, here are you going to give them any worksheet type or no, where they agree, disagree, what were their discussions that can be presented when they are talking? Because no, they have identified it, but
Yes,
the opposing notions also they will have to collect, so that has to be mentioned there.
Mentioned in a worksheet. Okay, ma'am. Then I'll mention a worksheet over here.
Yeah. So writing task, writing notebooks, right? That is fine. Don't give 10 to 18, 18 to 30. Give 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that slot. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Don't give that continuation time.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. The last one is fine. Reflection prompts and revisit learning success. Summarize key learning, exit tickets. Fine. Right. Can we go down?
Yes, ma'am.
For the learning log activity?
Ma'am, I'll go to the activity log.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is this visible?
So the imaginary date of the lesson is 27/1.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the first activity is taken from the lesson plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Here again, it directly supported the lesson objective analyzing. No, what you found learners doing? Most learners, that part is right. Most learners were able to structure their paragraph logically and focus on one language feature, indicating that activity supported understanding. Fine. Use of organizer helped the learners to maintain clarity and coherence. That is what you have observed. So that part is not required. It directly supported the lesson objective. That part is not required.
Okay, ma'am.
Showed me the differentiation does not always require different tasks, but can be embedded in varying levels, correct? Okay. Now you have written here, most learners were able to structure, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So where exactly the few learners missed out? That must come in your reflection.
Okay, ma'am.
Remember, you see, the problem is it must be linked when you're evaluating. When you have written, most learners are able to. So what happened to the one or two who has missed? So how did you see that they were completing? Because you've written about their levels of support and challenge. So how did you support them? And from there, how did you understand that varying levels of support and challenges required? That must be mentioned. Okay. Her this one is dropped, I think so. So others, can you just work on the second task and tell me what is validity, reliability, fairness, norm referencing, criterion referencing, assessment criteria, success criteria, achievement, attainment?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Megha.
Ma'am, I would like to speak on validity, fairness, and reliability of a good assessment. Yes.
Okay.
So, ma'am, validity means basically it refers to how well an assessment measures the intended outcomes which it is supposed to meet, and a valid assignment must be closely related to the learning objectives and the outcomes, and the questions which should be there in that assessment must be taught in the class, and it shouldn't be from any irrelevant, it shouldn't be from any irrelevant content which is not taught in the class. And fairness means fairness means providing equal opportunities to all the students, and fairness in assessment should be away from biasness towards language, towards gender, or towards culture, and the instructions for a good assessment to conduct should be very clear, and the difficulty level of the question paper should be age appropriate. So these all points come under fairness. And reliability means the consistency of the assessment results, means whether it is evaluated at different times by different examiners, the result should be consistent throughout. And the marking scheme, the rubrics, and the standard procedures for correcting the assessment should be same throughout.
Very, very true. Yes, Anandita, I've seen. I think we have finished.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very sorry, ma'am. My laptop just suddenly shut down.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, ma'am, I rejoined again. I switched it on and rejoined again. Ma'am, should I share the screen? Again?
No, we finished, right? You understood the
Yes,
class
ma'am.
part. So few learners
ma'am.
part, you will have to include it in your
Yes, ma'am.
reflection part.
Okay, ma'am. I'll
Yeah.
make the changes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, others? Norm referencing, criterion referencing, assessment criteria, success criteria, achievement, attainment.
Ma'am, just one question in the lesson plan. Ma'am, the evaluation portion, lesson evaluation, we have not filled it yet. It would be after the lesson has been given in class, right? Now we are not
Both.
supposed to fill it.
Now we are not supposed to. That's why I said it's an imaginary part that you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Both actually reaching your objective and your reflection. Evaluation and reflection must be done after implementing your
lesson.
activity. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Others?
Can I say about norm referencing?
Yes, Sarah.
Ma'am, norm, according to my understanding, norm referencing means that the assessment is not taken by any standards, but it is a comparison with the student. Like for an example, if the student is able to, for example, how well that student is able to outstand in a group. Like if a group activity is given, so not everyone will. Not every student will perform in the same way. So how that person is not able to perform like the one who is always standing out. That is one criteria of it. It focuses on skilled learning. Like in assessment, there's for you have to write Q&As and all that, but over here, it focuses on the skills.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Yes.
And it compares to the students' learning goals. Like we have the same objectives for the entire class, but one student is able to perform much higher, and this student is not able to perform much higher. So it's the test between the best student and the student struggling with it.
Very true. Very true. See, norm referencing simply can be CGPA. We all have CGPA scores, isn't it? So how is CGPA considered? the topper of the class is taken to be as the standard. And
Yeah.
all the other marks are graded based on the topper's mark. So that becomes the norm referencing part of it. Okay, that is the norm referencing. Correct. Yes, Rohini. Norm referencing, it compares student performance with general. See, simple is CGPA. Remember CGPA? It is norm referencing. Okay. Yes. Next, criterion referencing. Criterion referencing. You can give me an example that you've come across so that you will have an idea. We'll finish this and then I'll give you a break. Criterion referencing.
Ma'am, I just want to speak on the assessment criteria.
Okay, assessment criteria. Yes.
Assessment criteria basically are the very special features, are very specific features of the student's work that usually the teacher will assess, will judge at the end. So it actually gives the answer of that what exactly will I just look for when I mark or when I mark assess my student's work. So that assessment, basically the assessment criteria that include first part is the knowledge, what actually the learner knows. Second is their skills. It is about their skills also, that what the learners can do, right? And the third one is about their understanding level, that how well the explain and can apply that part of knowledge which is being taught to them in the class. So it is based on the knowledge, skills, and the understanding. These three will come in the assessment. And for example, the students correctly identify a language technique. Students correctly identifies the literary and the structural right technique in the Cambridge extract. So that is the assessment. And students explain the effect on the reader, that what is the effect of using the language and the literary technique on the reader. So all this will come in the assessment. And why that assessment is very very important for us, because that actually make marking very fair and very much consistent. We just get to know through the various assessment criteria. And it just prevent we actually cannot guessing work, we actually cannot do with our students. So for that reason assessment must be there in the class. And after that, it actually ensures that whatever work being given to them, it actually matches their learning objectives. Whatever learning objective being set in the beginning of the class, it should match with the assessment criteria.
Okay. For example, what Rupa said, assessment criteria, our Cambridge course assessment criteria. Remember, all of you are having a different subjects, but it has to be evaluated on the same lines. So certain rules are given or certain criteria are given. That is known as assessment criteria. Now, criterion referencing. Can anyone tell me what is criterion referencing? Yes, Anandita.
Ma'am, it's like okay.
Yeah, okay. No, I'll give all of you. Don't worry. Yes, Anandita. Because I saw her raise her hand. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, basically, criterion referencing means when we evaluate a learner's performance against some preset criteria or standard which is predetermined and not against the performance of others. Ma'am, for example, if I take the Cambridge band descriptors which are given in the marking schemes, and they are predetermined only. Like if it is between, for example, band 1 is, for example, limited response. Band 3, adequate successive use of relevant responses. Then band 5 is sustained, well-developed evaluative responses given. And in this way, ma'am, we award if a candidate is meeting all the criteria, we are giving them band 5. And The others who are giving limited amount of response, we are giving them like the preset according to the preset or determined criteria. We were giving them lesser band score. So, ma'am, that is like the predetermined set against which they are evaluated.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Sarah.
Ma'am, in simple words, it's like it check where you are. Like for example, swimming. It it see whether you know how to do swimming or not. It how long you can swim. It is not getting it. You're not getting any marks for it or anything. Whether you have that skill in you or not. In what I have understood by this.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Yamini.
What I have understood is like um, set criteria for that assessment or that curriculum. So if I have to say in my paper, if a student has to get 25 marks on an average to know that he has passed this level or he had crossed this level, that to give that uh, validation that he has known what he has to know at this stage. It's a collective according to that curriculum, like how ma'am had said bandwidth. It's based on that curriculum. The assessment is is done based on that like pass or fail determination, whether the kid has learned to that level which is needed at that stage. That criteria is set
Okay.
by the curriculum, where the child's knowledge is measured. It's not compared with the peers, it's not compared with specific target. It's more like a summative is what I found.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone else?
Ma'am, I couldn't say it nicely. It's like, are you getting the objectives done?
Okay. See,
It's not,
criteria referencing need not be an objective based. For example, you have peer assessment based on rubrics, right? So rubrics is the best example for criteria referencing. So for example, when you're doing a presentation, you give certain rubrics for the child. Now that can be done by the teacher or it can be done by the peers. But assessment criteria is definitely for evaluation and it is done by a competent authority and it is related to the objectives. There is a link directly to the objectives. Objectives are the outcomes of learning. It is directly linked to. Okay, what is success criteria? What is success criteria? We have objectives, we have outcomes, we have success criteria. Now you think and tell me what is objectives, what is outcomes and success criteria.
Ma'am, may I? About
yes,
success.
Yes.
Ma'am, success criteria is basically what successful learning looks like from a student's perspective. And it is basically written in somewhat in simple learner-friendly language, which makes the learners understand how to achieve a learning goal. And success criteria is basically the self-assess or how to improve their work, promoting independent learning. Basically, it promotes independent learning.
Very good, very good. That's correct. So objective is the intention. Remember, it is not achieved. Okay. Outcome is, it is what should be seen after learning. Success criteria is still broken down into simpler forms such that the student can self-assess their learning. Okay, right. What is the difference between achievement and attainment? Can Rohini speak? What happened? You find it difficult? Any problem, Rohini? I don't see you speaking. Rohini.
ma'am, she's writing down in the comment section
I can
whatever you have,
understand.
but she's not speaking.
That's why I don't know what has happened. Yeah, so what is achievement and attainment? Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay.
it's
Ma'am,
like
Achievement and
achievement,
cognition
attainment.
and metacognition difference.
Cognition, metacognition difference. Okay.
Like
achievement,
achievement is
achievement,
what they
ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Rupa.
Yeah, ma'am. Achievement is that how well a student perform in a particular work or in a particular exam. Okay, that is the achievement, right?
Mm.
Which is being attained by the student, and the attainment is what, that the level of okay learning, right? Or a particular kind of skill that the student has just built over the period of time in the class.
Okay.
Uh,
Ah.
Okay, that is example comprehension, or
Mm.
write something like the okay writing skills with the okay writer's effect. That is the skill that he or she has okay built up over a period of time in the class
Very
through
good.
practice.
Very good. Ah. Very good. Yeah.
Ma'am, in global
And
perspective, we have to make them improve their skills or research abilities. So whatever task we are giving them, they're achieving it. But in a longer run, they have to have that skill. So that is attainment.
very
Complete
good. No, that is achievement. What you do every day in the class is attainment.
attainment. Yeah,
Attaining does not look at skill level. Achievement looks at skill level.
skill levels. Yeah,
Okay. Attainment is something like expecting the minimum learning outcomes of the class. Achievement is going beyond
beyond the
what
skills.
is
Yes.
beyond the required attainment level. Okay, so I'll just give you a short break. 10:47 it is. So 10:53 you can come. You can just read through this form when you are back. Just go through these. Why formative assessment should support learning. So let's move on to the next activity. Active learning. So I'll just give you the names of the people who will be looking through the different documents. So we have total of 7 members. So we will do one thing. Yamini, Megha, Rupa will go through approaches to teaching and learning. Okay. Yamini, Megha and Rupa. Anandita, Sara and Ruhini go through active learning, designing classroom activities. Designing classroom activities. Okay, your task will be, okay, how you will be engaging all your students during a written lesson. Remember, activities till now, what we are discussing is during discussion that will happen. So when writing, how can you bring an active learning in your class? Writing is also an essential part of your class. So how can you bring active learning using writing? So an extra link also I have shared in order to understand the learning activity design, that is from Buffalo University. You can go through, I'll give you 5 minutes. So 11 o'clock, we will have the discussion on these two articles.
Ma'am, I should go through the first point, approaches to teaching and learning. First
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Ma'am, the document which you have shared, in that document, there are various links are there. For example, lecture, right? Directed discussion, directed instructions. So everything we need to read that, all the links.
Please read.
The
No, you can go through, I said. It's
okay,
not mandatory. When you're free, or you can keep it once this thing is shared. When you're designing your lessons, you can. You can look through all those, because those are different activities that can be done in your classrooms.
okay. So as of now, we need to just discuss few
Rupa,
only.
what you can do, you will have to do. That's
Okay.
it. Yes, if you've completed, we can.
Can I start?
Yes.
Yes. Ma'am, so the approaches for teaching and learning are basically uh, the methods and the strategies which a teacher uses to support the students in understanding and in reflecting on the knowledge and the skills. And there are various
Okay.
which this can be achieved. The first one is a teacher-centered approach in which the teacher acts as gives the direct instruction to the students and is the primary source of knowledge. And in this case, the lessons are already structured, they are content delivered, I mean, content driven, and they are being imparted in the class through direct lecture or direct instructions. And the second one is learner center approach. In learner center means it is basically focused on the students' needs, abilities, and interests. And here the students they participate actively because since it is learner centered, students are actively involved in this through discussions, through explorations, or through reflection. And
Okay.
the third one I would like to speak upon is the inquiry-based learning, ma'am. In inquiry-based learning, the students will be given a set of questions on which they have to investigate and they have to construct their own understanding and through evidences. And here the teacher does not act as a direct instructor. Instead, the teacher acts as a facilitator. Yes, ma'am. And one more thing was collaborative learning, ma'am. In collaborative learning, the students they work together in groups and pairs to achieve a particular learning goal, and they discuss, they interact with each other, they support each other, they do experiments together. In this way, this collaborative learning approach is achieved.
Very good. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. There's four only.
Okay, fine. That's fine. So collaborative, now we remember we would like to know about the writing practices. So how exactly can they do the writing practices using collaboration? You understood my question? How can they get into the writing practice using collaboration? Because it's an active learning strategy. Anyone? Rohini, again, you've gone for an oral activity. My question is engaging them in your class during a written lesson. For example, you're teaching maths. Okay, numericals. Now, it should be active, engaging, and motivating for them. How will you do it when it is a written classroom?
Man, think, pair, and write by
Think,
giving,
pair,
or
and write. Okay,
and
right.
then we can just give a starting sentence and then ask them to write the rest of it.
So
Like to
what is
start,
it called as? What is it called as?
Sentence
uh,
starters.
sentence
Sentence
starters.
starters
Yeah.
or sentence prompts. Okay, prompts you can use. Right.
And by
Anything
using
else?
brainstorming effect, what can be the cause of it? What can be the effect of it? How can
Very
this
good.
happen? And by
So
one-liners.
very true. One sentence summary, or
Or
you
we can
can
use
have
graphic organizers also through
graphic organizers. Very good.
computers
Now
One
are
minute,
coming up.
ma'am, and this is what was written 1 minute paper, journals, free
Yes,
writes.
yes, yes. Then story starters and story completion. Design your own stories.
Yeah.
That also can have. So you
Ma'am,
have
ma'am,
blocks
in
of.
this, the link that you have shared is in there. It is written about Bloom's taxonomy and Fink's also. So when we are writing R, we can use Fink's taxonomy also, or we have to use only Bloom's taxonomy.
You can use that also. You
Okay.
can use. You can use. It's not only about blooms. Yeah. Any other thing that you've come across?
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, whatever they are writing in the class, they can through the pair work, they can actually edit that work and they can bring that improvement in their work. Okay, that can also be taken as the active learning
I
through the
didn't get
pair.
it. What is it?
Yeah,
Pair,
ma'am.
pair.
Actually, they can edit the work whatever they are writing, and through the peer assessment, they can improve what what are the pitfalls are there, what are the downfalls are there in their writing. They can improve
Yes.
in that way. Okay, that can be also considered as the one of the way of active learning through the peer assessment.
Sure. Yeah. So writing wise also you can ask them to peer assess using. See, even rubric based peer assessment can be done. So rubric-based peer assessment, they will be evaluating the writing or based on certain criteria. Now they will also start self-assessing themselves when they are doing the peer assessment when they're writing, because most of our examinations are on the writing level. So we will have to incorporate these activities to see that that engagement happens and the writing is also evaluated from their end. Okay. So let's
Freedom
just.
to make mistakes.
Ma'am, there is one thing that is
Yes, Yamini, 1 minute, Sarah. Yes, Yamini, you were saying something.
Freedom to make mistakes, ma'am, because
Freedom. That's true. You will have to give that in your classroom. You will have to give that freedom to make mistakes. Yes, Sarah.
the writing thing. There is one thing that is going on these days. Like you write one line and then you pass it to the other, and then you pass it to the other. So,
Yes.
and then it will create a story, something
Mm.
different. Or else, even in the drawing, like you just draw a cat and then you pass it on, then the person will draw a house for the cat or some in
Mm.
that way also a
That's
story
a
is
story
made.
building. Story
Yeah.
building can be done. Story building, and this is also a very good activity. Designing. Next. What type of formative assessments should teacher use? Now you work on this questioning, formative feedback, peer or self-assessment. So you can pick any one and you can justify why you should use that. I won't say all you have to work on. Pick any one and justify why you will use that. Everyone don't go for questioning. Huh? We know that questioning we do. but think about other things also, and why exactly you prefer to use. Yes, you can start. Just your own thoughts. Don't overdo it, because we will be again looking at the benefits. I think already we have done the benefits of doing a particular assessment and what are the drawbacks of doing a particular assessment, formative assessment.
Ma'am, can I say about formative feedback?
Yes.
We do formative feedback during the classes. We don't do it at the end of the class, because if there is any learning gaps, we remove those learning gaps from the children. And then when we ask questions, we are aware that are they able to follow us properly or not, even though if we have made a lesson plan properly, but still we have to make some changes in the class if they are not following it, because there are high order thinking learners also and lower order thinking learners also. So that quick change we can do it if we know that the children are not, the students are not able to understand what we are going, or maybe we have made a lesson plan a bit for more higher level and they are not able to get that. We can understand by that formative feedback, and even students will understand if we give them proper feedback, whether they're understanding or not, or what uh, and how they can focus more on deeper understanding. They can
Very
ask
true.
us
Yes.
questions if they are able to understand or not. It's formative feedback.
Okay.
Ma'am, may I speak on peer and self-assessment?
Yes, you can.
Yes, ma'am. So a teacher should use a peer and self-assessment as part of a formative assessment because it actively involves the students in the learning process and supports a continuous improvement for the students. And moreover, it promotes the learner ownership. Means learners will take responsibility for their own learning. It will also help develop confidence and communication skills also within them, and it also encourages collaborative learning among themselves.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Next. Yes, Yamini.
Sorry. So in my class, I have noticed and followed questioning and peer and self-assessment, giving me good like which is being followed consistently, because with the examples that we provide, though they are up to their level, still the connection I found a gap. When it comes for peer assessment or self-assessment, they bring out their examples from their surroundings where the topic is, it's imprinted in them. So what I noticed is when I am revisiting the topic, if the assessment is done on peer assessment or self-assessment, when I'm revisiting the topic, it was very easy for me to get them, and their uh, understanding of the topic is being built in them. I don't need to go and on and on and on and again. So that is something which I found very effective in my class.
Very true. Yes, that's good.
Ma'am, may I?
What about formative use of summative assessment? Yes, Anandita.
Ma'am, I've taken up that only, and particularly since I deal with board classes, I prefer the use of formative use of summative assessments because, ma'am, I believe that it allows the exam style tasks to become learning tools. Particularly, ma'am, past papers is something that we concentrate on quite a lot. So, ma'am, these kinds of tools, like tasks, they become learning tools. And ma'am, by analyzing the performances against the criterion that is already set by the Cambridge assessment objectives and revisiting their responses, grading them by the help of, marking schemes that are already provided. Ma'am, I believe that through this, there's a targeted improvement that is like seen, and students also understand how to raise the quality of their own writing. And this approach, ma'am, I also believe in some way, like it reduces the grade fixation, and it also helps in many ways because we are assessing what is exactly already given in the summative assessments. It supports mixed ability learners also, and it helps in developing the reflective and independent writers that is aligned particularly with the criterion assessments that will be conducted at the summative level.
Very true. See, formative use of summative assessment is not only for board classes, even for other classes. It gives them an idea of how to submit or how to present their written assessment. For example, you conduct a lot of slip tests. Okay, you conduct MCQ tests. Now, these tests actually are a model of the summative assessment that they are going to appear for. So, it is actually in a modeling task that you're giving. Remember, this is a low risk assessment or like the performance rating towards their quality or standardization is very less, but it follows the model of the summative task, which actually helps them to build their confidence in actually appearing for the finalized exam or the final standard exam that they're going to appear. So this is a very important part, the formative use of summative assessment. Now, if you look at the four aspects, questioning, formative feedback, peer and self-assessment, formative use of summative assessments, all these, if you look at directly or indirectly, you are actually providing feedback of their performance. So these are the assessments that the teacher should use frequently so that there is a loop of assessment feedback that goes continuously in the class. Now, peer and self-assessment must be a part of an activity that it can be a presentation activity, it can be a group discussion presentation, it can be, as Anandita has done, the written task assessment. Rupa also gave about. So when they identify and they peer assess it, it works out. Now they get the feedback out of it. Okay, so those and the formative use of summative assessment also will give them a feedback. Questioning gives immediate feedback. So giving feedback is very important in the class. Now, when we are saying giving feedback, it should be on very specific term instead of go and prepare. This is not the answer expected from you. So instead of that, where exactly is the performance going down? What exactly is expected? What is the question expecting? What should be written there? So that should be the specific feedback that must be provided. That is why when we are giving peer assessment and peer feedback also, we insist on having a rubrics, because rubrics will give the specificity for the feedback given by their own classmate. Otherwise, what happened? I don't know, man. I didn't like the way you presented. That's vague statement that comes out. So it has to be specific. So rubrics will be the best way of giving a peer assessment or a self-assessment that the student can do. Okay. And now
Ma'am,
moving
one
on.
question. Ma'am, AFL's assessment for learnings, and can they be also considered under this category?
Yes, you will, all your AFLs are going to be considered as for feedback. You will have to have a feedback loop for it, because it is for learning. So when we are saying for learning, there must be a feedback loop attached to it. Otherwise, learning is not going to happen. Okay. So now,
ma'am, we
when
can add
we
the formative, ma'am, in the formative assessment, can we add the AFL, that feedback
formative
in
is
our lesson?
AFL. See, you
Yeah.
have three:
So,
assessment as
yeah, ma'am.
learning, assessment for learning, both are formatives. Both are formative.
So we can add in our lesson plan. We can add in our lesson plan that
Yes,
feedback
you
on the
have to.
formative.
See, you have
Okay.
to. Formative means you have to have feedback. Otherwise, what happens? There is a learning gap that is going to creep in. There is a learning gap that compulsory will creep in if you don't add feedback loop. Feedback is mandatory for formative assessments. Even for summative, when it is your midterm exams, because after that you're not going to take that syllabus also, do the feedback so that if it's a final annual examination, they will understand. Make it as a formative part so that they will understand where they are making the mistake. So the final exam, they can correct it. So throughout the year, all formatives must carry feedback till that standardized summative or the final summative is conducted. Okay. So now again, the first three members will do the first task and the second group members will do the second task. This is about two different tasks. So Yamini, Megha and Rupa, I think, isn't it, for the first one? He'll do inclusive classroom and discuss the benefits of inclusive classroom. Rohini, Anandita, and Sara will be doing assessment for learning. Identify the use of assessment in students' learning and how feedback is provided. Okay, now we are going to what way you have to give feedback for the second group. First one, the benefits of an inclusive classroom. So it's 11:21, 11:27. I will be stopping you and asking. Okay.
Should we start, ma'am?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You've
so
completed,
based on
please
that,
start. Mm.
yeah, based on the document which you shared with us regarding that, okay, Dennis Webster's the Inclusive Classroom 2014, that document. According to that, inclusive classroom actually brings the social, brings the strong academic, social, emotional, and also the motivational benefits to all the students, uh, even those even for those students, those who are without any kind of differential abilities. So regarding, based on the document, the benefits of the inclusive classroom, first is that it improves the academic achievement, as we know that that the inclusive classrooms actually support learning by using the differentiated instruction, right? We use the differentiated instruction because we just know that the students have the different, okay, abilities. So and also the multiple ways of learning. For example, some learn by the visual, some learn by the, okay, auditory, some learn by the, okay, kinesthetic learning. So our inclusive classroom actually allows every student to, okay, just assess the content in a way that actually suits them, which increases their overall, okay, achievement, and as well as the, okay, attainment of the particular skill which they want to get. And second one, that build up the, okay, confidence and their self belief also. When our classrooms are, okay, inclusive, when the students feel accepted, and they feel that they are very much, okay, supported by the mentors, they just become more and more, okay, confident in their skill, in their, okay, abilities. And that inclusive classroom help, okay, learners feel safe to try. They can make more and more, okay, mistakes, and they can improve gradually over a period of time. So
So
after that, yeah, in the document it is written, it actually promotes the social acceptance and the belonging as well. Students feel that they are truly part of the, okay, classroom, and students with and without any kind of, okay, disabilities, they experience high level of social acceptance that actually builds up the, okay, empathy, cooperation, and that, okay, respect for the, okay, diversity that is there. And it also the warm and the welcoming ambience in the classroom. It creates inclusive classroom creates warm and welcoming ambience, and it actually increases students, okay, engagement also in the class. More and more the, okay, class will be, okay, inclusive. It will increase more and more, okay, participation of all type of all type of, okay, learners in the class activities.
That's it, Rupa ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, Megha.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, inclusive classroom is basically a learning environment where it values diversity and ensures that all the students are respected, accepted, and supported. And regardless of their abilities, learning needs, background, and any differences, all of them they study together in the same classroom. And an inclusive classroom provides equal learning opportunities to each and every student because the curriculum is also designed in such a way that it is equal for all of them. And an inclusive classroom supports the holistic development of a student. It means it helps in developing the social, emotional, and the moral values within them. And an inclusive classroom promotes social acceptance and empathy within the students, and it also helps them to respect and understand the individual differences among themselves. And the last one is it prepares the students for the real life diversity, which means that the students, they learn to appreciate the diversity and develop the skills which is needed to function in this diverse world, to function effectively in this diverse world. So these
Very
are
true.
benefits of an inclusive classroom.
Very true. Yeah. Yes, Yamini.
Hi, ma'am. I have a realistic example of the situation about the inclusive classroom. So, in one of my class, we have an able child. At the same time, the other normal children also. So initially, it was an imbalance, a great imbalance, where the attention is taken by the able child, where there is a difference. The regular children felt, but none of the strategies actually worked with the ability. Like if we today we figured out one strategy, it did not work on the next day. Then if there is a strategy which worked for 1 week and we were like, okay, this is working, again it shift like it didn't work. One strategy never actually gave us the complete picture of maintaining the class. Slowly we started educating the parent, then the children, that this is how the world is. It's a mix of everybody together. So the children, when they started accepting the able child, and it helped the able child to understand the classroom environment first step. Slowly, he started getting into the classroom environment, which helped him to settle down. And our strategies also started working in the learning pace with that able child. And it created an empathetic environment in the classroom when an able child participated once and he is being appreciated. Initially, the regular children used to feel why he is being appreciated for even the smallest thing. Now the children started to understand that, provided that the him this behavior and inclusiveness in the class, and his learning also pace also increased. The able child, where when this children understood that special attention is not only for him, when we are planning the activities or when we are planning, it's not only centered for the able child, it's centered for each and every individual need of the classroom. Like in the regular children also, not all my children are centered with auditory. Like if I'm telling a chapter or something, they listen and clearly understand it. No, they are somebody who get visually. When I play a story, they connect it more. When they do an activity, they connect it to the more. When they are getting their learning in their way, I didn't find the children comparing between themselves, which made the class very effective. The last and final thing was, it worked greatly when we educated the parent that we need this support from you. This is the stage your child is. This is what is happening in the class, and we want this support from you. This helped greatly, and the overall class performance also, without much disturbance, it worked.
Very true. Very good. But generally, an inclusive classroom is a challenging classroom for the
Very,
teacher.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's a very challenging
Initially,
classroom, and the teacher must be physically, mentally, emotionally prepared to handle the student. Then no, there will be some change happening. Otherwise, what happens is, how much ever you try, there will be a clear demarcation between the differently able child and the rest of the classroom. Okay,
initially
so
we did that mistake. I did that mistake initially. I was not able to manage, and we called the parent, we put everything in front of them, and the minute we saw the parent, we were realized. And actually, this happened parallelly with my son also. Like there are a lot of learnings happening simultaneously. My son is an hyperactive child. I never got a call from the teacher, which surprised me, not even once. I know he's a naughty one, not even once. Then I was like, okay, maybe this correction should happen from my level. That probed me into thinking what I can do in the classroom where both the children are balanced. This time the approach towards parent changed, rather than putting as a point of what is affecting the class, what help I needed from the parent. So and from the regular learners also, how I need your support to include this child into the class. This brought a very I'm not getting the exact word, very calm environment to the class. It now supported the learning. Uh, like it's happening throughout the class is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Initially,
See,
we
inclusive
failed.
is on two levels. It's on two levels, Yamini. For you, it was on the mental level that the child was challenging. But remember, ADHD is not a very big symptom that no, you really need to go through. But if you have a child who's autistic, okay, dyspraxia, physically challenged child, that becomes the real challenge for the teacher to include them into the classroom. Because remember, most of the times we take it for granted, because this is a live example that happened in my school that I'm telling you, because we have a 10th standard child who has a nerve problem and she is on wheelchair. So we say that, okay, the 10th standard must not be disturbed. So we will take them to our common room, which is in the second floor. Most of the times what happens is the teacher forgets about this child. And when we go to the classroom to tell, okay, now take your bags and move, then we realize she's in the class. And then we change the decision. It becomes more spontaneous that immediately we stop telling, ma'am, we forget about so and so. Then, no, they say, okay, you do one thing, take them to we have an open area, pre-primary wing, take them there because she can take her wheelchair and go. She doesn't take anyone's support. Remember that. She's highly independent girl. So she goes there and no, she sits. So the problem is all the years we have been attuned to the normal kids, and no, sometimes we forget that this child is present in the class. And when we take such decisions, the child obviously understands it because of me, and that we are not able to segregate. So that is the reason I said it's very challenging, because she knows when we want like studying alone for their pre-boards, we shift them to a room where there is more silence for them. But this part, when we start telling to the class, we realize and we keep quiet, she is much aware. And she tells also, she comes and tells, it's okay, I will stay here, let my classmates go there. So we feel bad. Now remember, it is not about teaching or learning. It is about the emotional status of the child. Many a times it's a challenge. So please do not take it for granted. So you will have to keep this in mind a number of times when you are recalling and recollecting. Okay. Even we had a blind child. So we had faced this challenge of how exactly we will have to look after. Remember, you cannot just give blind statements. Now, come on, now start this map activity. You can't say that in your class. You will have to keep the child in the mind. Okay. So all these, so then we had to take a map, help her in pointing out the borders, looking at places. So all this, when you practically face it, it's a totally different level of challenge for the teacher that you should be ready when you have such a differently abled child in the class. Remember, autistic is different, dyspraxia is different, physical challenge is different, because most of the time autistic and all that, now specialized schools and specialized counseling is given. But remember, physical ailment, it comes all of a sudden. Physical disability is a total different thing that the teacher, because the problem is norm is something that we are attuned to. And we blindly go with the norm. And then we realize, oh my God, we said this without thinking about this particular child. So that is where the teachers have to be alert. Okay, right. So that is about inclusive classrooms. Yes, the next group can start for assessment for learning and identify how to use assessments in learning and how feedback is provided. Remember here when we are talking of feedback is not about, no, this answer you have written wrong. Remember I told you earlier. It is not about generalized feedback, how you will use assessment of learning and how exactly are you going to give feedback to your students. That is what you will be talking about. Yes, Sarah. You're on mute, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Uh, just give me like 1 second. Because of wait. Okay, yes. Okay, what is the assessment for learning? Uh, Assessment for learning, it's divided into three: help learning understand what they have to do in order to succeed. I'm sorry, I was so much into your talk that my line of thought is
Assessment.
into
Okay.
it. Uh,
Take 1 minute to recollect your thoughts. Take
yes,
one
I'm
minute.
so sorry. I was so much into the scenario the way you were
No,
saying
because
it.
it's a practical one. No, I also felt that when
Yeah,
I did that mistake, that is the reason. I
yeah, I'm
felt that
sorry.
when I made that decision, and that is when, to tell you, I really understood the meaning of an inclusive classroom.
Yeah. I got goosebumps when I listened to it, so I'm still trying to bring myself. I never had
Remember,
that kind of thing.
that child is not no cognitively weak. She's a very smart girl, and this visually challenged child, the child is now actually into her. She was in 12th class last before year, and now she is doing her medicine second year.
Wow,
That
amazing.
visually challenged child.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
So it is how the school and the leadership treats the child that is very important. Yeah.
And hats off, ma'am. I mean, you helping someone achieve that, it's amazing. It's an achievement for your lifelong journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Coming back to the topic, the theory behind assessment for learning, it is divided into, it can be into three ways. Where is the learners now? Where do they need to go? And how can they get there? We basically assess this in the assessment. And one thing I really like in this thing was where teachers have to plan in the recent work yeah, for cognitive science encourages teachers to think about long-term recall of knowledge. These assessments are no, I'm not. Please, you go no. Sorry, ma'am. So this cannot be evaluated accurately. The teacher have to plan for opportunities for tests. It is a bit challenging, but it have to pace over a period of time so that the long-term recall is there in the assessments. This I really like in this. And how can the schools and then in this I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'll just lock the door. I'm so sorry. Sorry, ma'am. I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the purpose of assessment is to identify the gaps between them so that teachers can have guided teaching, support the students' progress, and encourage responsibility for learning. And it is good for both the teachers and the students as it helps when the teacher shares the objectives, the teachers and the students know what are they going to uh, attend at the end of the yes, achieve at the end of the attend at the end of the class.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Next. Yes, Anandita.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the question was how am I using it in my classrooms or in my learning? So, ma'am, in my classroom, ma'am, I believe assessment is I use it as an ongoing process that will support the learners rather than simply using them to measure it to measure them. So, ma'am, at the beginning of the lesson, if I clearly share the learning intentions and the success criteria, then during the lesson, if I'm gathering the evidences of learning, maybe through questioning or other written tasks that I'm giving to them. And then after post lesson, if I'm giving them some targeted formative feedback, which you just mentioned, ma'am, earlier, like the feedback loop, if that is correct, and then we can link it to the assessment objectives correctly. And ma'am, summative assessment is something that I would like to mention, ma'am. If they are reviewed properly, ma'am, in diagnostic manner, they can allow students to reflect on what performance they have made and take very clear, correct, concise goals for the next steps. And this really aligns with the Cambridge principles, learning principles of helping students when we say becoming reflective and independent learners.
Very true. Now here, I just want to reiterate on one aspect. Remember, when we are talking of feedback, we are always looking at the objectives. In the class, like we have two types of communication, formal and informal. We have two types of objectives in your class also. One is your formal objective, one is the informal objective. The formal objectives are the objectives that you're very clearly specifying in the lesson. Okay. Informal objectives are certain objectives. For example, you have designed a group work. Okay. And there is a conflict in the group. Okay. There is a conflict in the group. Now, remember, you cannot stay silent as a teacher. Your informal objective is how the group resolves the conflict by themselves. So, how do they discuss it out without arguing, without fighting? This is one informal objective that you have to. When they are making presentations, are they sharing among their group members, allowing them to present? And if you look at student PPTs especially, these are some that I have observed. No, it will be crowded with information. Instead,
Yes,
how they put the points and how they present themselves when they are talking. You look at most of the students, they keep their hands crossed in the front or back. They don't use their hands for presentation. All these become informal objectives, and for this also you should have a rubric, and your feedback should inculcate this, especially when it comes to map pointing and a science drawing. Now, teachers generally give a vague statement saying that no, this diagram is not good. The map pointing is not good. Go and check your textbook. Instead, what is that you're expecting from them? Okay, that has to be clearly mentioned to the child. Okay, for example, when it comes to map pointing, you can say they have mentioned port a little bit inside the land. Okay, there the clarity must be given to the child. Now you are talking about a port. Port cannot be in land, inside the land. It has to be on the border. One. Similarly, when they are marking about airport, okay, like Kolkata airport, they go and mark in Bay of Bengal. Now the teacher may mark, remember, board may consider, but our vision is not about that. It is about how to correct. Remember, it's about achievement rather than
long-term goals.
attainment. Yeah. So we have to look at the positioning of the point. Okay. When they are drawing the heart diagram, what they do? They'll have the iota somewhere in the iota will start from the auricle. Top, it will start. Okay. And they won't give the correct flow also. So instead of telling them, no, your diagram is wrong. Actually, if you can pinpoint and tell, see, you draw the process like this. So it has to come from the down. So you have to bring that tube down, so that you can show that pumping happening. Maybe the examiner may not check it also. But remember, self-assessment and self-realization is more important for the child, because this is not about the examination. This is about lifelong learning. So that must be inculcated even when we are writing passages, we're writing letters, especially in English. Teachers vaguely say, no, this letter does not have any content. What is that you're expecting from the child?
Yes, ma'am. In
What is
many
the
cases,
content
they
missing?
write. I came across this myself in many of the notebooks when I like cross-examine them. Ma'am, it's always sometimes it's written elaborate. Just that.
Ah,
What is it that they're supposed to elaborate on? Like a
yes.
little bit more specific feedback would help them achieve like where they are lacking or where they need to work more on.
Hmm. So those things no are missing. Max also, you may give marks, sometimes you may say steps are missing. So for the child, actually, he may be very good in maths. He may not think that step is important because it's already working in his head. But you will have to specify on what exactly is needed for the examiner's point of view, or what you have to show, or where you are likely to make a careless mistake. Because max, that is what happens if you miss a step. Because your brain will be thinking in multiple dimensions, so a minus may go as a plus. So which step is important so that the next step you will write it properly without making careless mistake. So these are the things that you will have to look into when you are looking at formative feedback. Okay. Or one thing, if the teacher feels that no, it's too much time consuming, give a list of points, make a list of points, project it to the student and tell these are what is expected out of each question. Self-assess whether you have done it or not. That saves your time also, and it gives a complete feedback to the class so that they will be well prepared for the next exam. Ask them to note down in the paper itself wherever they have not completed whatever is required as per the marking scheme. And no, I don't know why teachers find it very difficult not to share the marking scheme with the students. Teachers generally don't share. You will have to share. The reason is that itself will give them a self-assessment on how exactly they are evaluated on their presentation. Rubrics also must be shared so that they know what exactly to do with the assessment. Okay. So please note this because feedback is very important.
At the time of distributing the answer sheets, first time we are just okay displaying the marking scheme on the projector so that they can actually check their answers and they can okay discuss their mistakes with us. So we are
Yeah,
just giving the
if you are
feedback.
doing it well and good, but no, I know teachers who keep the marking scheme to themselves. They don't like to share. Okay. Remember that causes bias. Okay. So I'll give you a short break, 5 minutes break. 12 we will join and Those who are back can do the activity. Last week's Unit 2 last session lesson, you can take 191 page to 199. Why different activities are needed, and present your answers in the chat box. Those who are back. Yes, you can start this. You can present in the chat box. Yeah. You can complete the activity and post the answers.
we should read only, no, ma'am, or we should do some activity also? We're
You have
supposed to
to
read.
look at
I just
this one. Note down why you use different activities and present in the chat box as per your lesson and sequence of activities. You have done the sample lesson plan and activities, isn't it? Based on that,
Okay.
why do you use different activities? That must be mentioned. Remember, this is a part of your reflection, so it has to be put there.
Okay.
Okay. Right, Megha. Again, Rohini, don't use the word understand. Understand comprehends, like it is a very large objective. So you will have to break it down. Okay. Never use understand in your objective. Very good. That's a very nice one, Sarah. Okay. Megha, it's fine. Yes, others? So as others are sharing, I'll give you another activity. Remember, you did a differentiation in your lesson plan, sample lesson plan. So there are different types of differentiation, like Anandita did differentiation by support. Okay. Now I want others to pick out which differentiation you have done. Differentiation by content, process, product, or negotiation. I'll share this image also in the chat box so that you can pick out the differentiation. Remember, you will have to write the type of differentiation you have done in your evidence of reflection. You will have to write what type of differentiation you have introduced in your lesson plan. Okay. Important points related. Analyze what techniques actually. Rupa, you will have to complete the sentence. You use, because yours is a language one. Please understand, those who are doing English, Yours will be scrutinized to a greater extent because Cambridge is also actually looking forward at English plans on more in a detailed manner. So use a variety of activities allow learners to recognize, explain, analyze what. You got it?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, your
Right, ma'am.
structure that you will have to put there.
Okay. Right. I will write it in detail, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Mega, yours is fine. Just identify the type of differentiation that you have done and why you have used it. Okay, right.
That the one you have shared type for differentiation. So when we are designing for our when we're designing it, differentiation, we have to use all the three in the activities or just any
No,
one.
no, any one you will use. Okay. And when you're writing your evidence of reflection, you will have to write, I use this as the differentiation by content, process, or because I wanted so and so thing to happen in my class as a part of the learning objective.
In the lesson plan, we don't have to mention that we're using differentiation by
No, no,
support,
you need not.
but
But
the evidence of learning, we have to
reflection, evidence of
reflection.
reflection.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Right. That's good. Hmm. Yes, differentiation, anyone can tell? What are the types of differentiation that you've used? Megha. Yes, Megha. Can you think and tell?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, I used the differentiation by support, ma'am, because in order to provide additional guidance, some scaffolding, and help to the learners who were not up to that
No,
level.
what was your differentiation activity?
Ma'am, means the activity you are saying which I conducted already, that one?
Just now we did, isn't it, in the lesson plan?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
asked you to form it into groups and give different assets, bases, and get. So, what do you think was the differentiation?
Just let me check them once that one. Ma'am, I need to make changes, right? Which one you said?
Yeah, that I'm asking. What type of differentiation is it? Look at the definition. Look at the definition, the image that I've given, right?
Yes,
Look at it. Rupa, you will also have to tell because yours also differentiation was there. And all the three
Yeah,
were
ma'am.
different. That is the reason I'm asking you. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm just tapping in the chat box as you told to type in the chat box answer.
No,
I'm typing.
differentiation, I told you to tell it out. I told you only use of activities to tell it in the
Yeah,
chat box.
I think use the process-based differentiation.
Very good. Yours is
Process-based.
process-based differentiation. Very good.
Because
Yes, correct.
I just engaged all the students in the same extract, but they worked actually at their different at their different levels.
No, they
Right?
had
According
different activities, isn't it? Task was
yes,
different, right?
yes.
So
They are
task was
task
different, activities was different. So it is differentiation by process.
yes.
Process.
Process of yes.
Yeah. Mega.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Ma'am, mine would be
Yes,
the
Yaman. Yes,
Can we
Mega.
have both
Someone talk. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Mine will be the differentiation by content because the
Very good.
same
It's
yes,
differentiation.
by
Yes.
content. Same material they will study, but the and the activity also will be the same for all.
Yes. Very good. So Mega's was differentiation by content, Rupa's was differentiation by process, and Anandita's was differentiation by support. Now she gives different level of support when they were doing the process. Remember, Anandita, you wrote it that few learners were able to, few
Yes,
learners were
ma'am.
not
Yes,
able to.
ma'am.
That comes under the support part of
Support.
it.
Ma'am, I
Okay.
can also mention the differentiation by product, right? Ma'am, because at the end, I'm also asking them to present their learning through different methodologies. Like some of them can
Yes.
provide in a written response, others in a presentation.
Yes, that also is right. So final outcome, if you're varying, it becomes differentiation by product. Got it? How to write, what to write in your evidence of reflection? Yeah. Yes, Yamini, you had a question.
I got the answer through Anandita ma'am. So if
Okay.
we are doing a product, if you're getting as a product while we are learning is happening through process, can that be two activities is what two differentiations is what my question was. But Anandita ma'am answered and you answered for that.
Yeah, you can have more than one, but write only about one in your reflection. In your lesson plan, you can have more than one. You may have it, but when you're writing it in your this one, you write which one you're more focusing on. It is something of your learning and you're reflecting, isn't it? So you can do it in that way. Okay. So just keep this picture with you because you will have an idea. Different materials for the same topic is differentiation by content. Different, same content, but different activities you're doing, that is process. The outcome is represented by different ways, that is product. And if different materials with the same topic do different activities, then it is negotiation. Same study materials, same activities, but will receive different support from teacher, then it's called differentiation by support. When you're doing differentiation by support, you will have to have same ability group members. Same ability group members, because you will have to differentiate based on the support that is needed for them. Okay. When you're having others, you can have mixed ability based on the group. You can have their ability, whatever process or no product or content, you can have a mixed ability. That's not a problem. But when you're doing alone for support, you should see that you're writing that you're having same ability group members. Okay. The next activity is one idea you will have to present on how you will develop blooms in your classroom. How you will develop blooms in your classroom. Just share it. How you will develop blooms in your classroom. That is higher order thinking. Remember, it's only for developing higher order thinking. How will you develop higher order thinking skills in your classroom? And please don't keep this a standalone. All this must be integrated in your lesson plan. Rohini, I think you are teaching for third class, right? Yes, third class 3. Okay, then no, better avoid negotiation, because you're using different sources for class 3. Age group wise, it doesn't match. So, no, when you're doing it also, if it is like, for example, 9, 10 or secondary also, even with sources, different sources, working with different sources is possible. But grade 3, asking them to go through different sources may become a challenge for you. Okay. Okay, collaborative peer learning.
For higher
Remember
order
last time
thinking,
we...
yes,
yes,
ma'am,
correct,
you say,
Sarah.
ma'am.
No, last week we took a lesson from the teaching tutoring on how to develop HOTS using blooms. We covered it. Just I would like you to recall that. Yes, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. By higher order uh, thinking, we can give them, I can give them a question and how to solve. So they have to, a problem is there, they solve and they predict what can happen if it is not solved. Or if it is solved, then how differently it can make an effect. Like already something is going on, how differently you will do it, and if you solve it, what will be the outcome of it, and if it is not solved, what will be the outcome of that.
Very true. Yes, it's like comparing. Solve it, not solve it. What is the outcome? Compare both. Right.
Compare both of them. It's higher order
That's
thinking.
yes, it's a higher order thinking, because you're going to the analytical. One is analysis, another one is evaluate also you're doing. So both comes. Yes.
Yes.
So, ma'am, blooms means that when the students move from remembering to understanding, then applying, analyzing, creating, and the evaluating. So, for example, in my class, I just take that language, literary, and the structural techniques based on my differentiated lesson plan. Okay, this means that I should make the students not only just understand that what is metaphor, what is simile, what is onomatopoeia, right? uh, okay, rather than that, they should know how to apply them in the extract, how to analyze that, how they actually work, and they should also, okay, evaluate their, okay, effectiveness and their impact on the read. Okay, that is called the evaluation and the analysis. So they move
Very
from the
good.
from okay understanding, okay, to the, okay, analyzing and, okay, evaluating the, okay, different language and the
Impact.
structural
Yeah.
and techniques.
Yes. Don't use apply. Apply does not come. Analyze. Yes, they can. Evaluate
Yes,
its
and
impact. Yes,
evaluating.
that both
Yes,
comes. Yes,
analyze and
that both
evaluating,
comes.
they just get to understand how to do in the extract.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I share?
Yes.
Ma'am, to develop hot thinking skills, ma'am, I would go in my lesson plan from what does the text say to going forward ahead with questions like, so what, how effective is the text, or what would happen if this is given. Ma'am, in this learning process, we will go from like recalling and explaining of the key ideas to applying concepts like tone, bias, then what is the structure of the text in many unfamiliar contexts. And then when coming to analysis, students will learn how to how the language choices that are there, they would shape the meaning, and in evaluation, they would understand the effectiveness by justifying the judgments which are there with the evidences that are present in the text. And ma'am, the highest level is create. If I can also like give that, then they might be able to create original responses by rewriting the text that is already given for a newer audience, which is already there in their like IGCSE syllabus for in two particular directed writing and expository writing. They have to rewrite the text from a new point of view for a newer audience and construct their own arguments on the basis of this.
Yes, they when they create their own argument, that is the highest level that we are talking about. So it will come under higher order thinking. Right.
I just want to ask you one. Connecting case study to the graph, is it also high order thinking?
Yes, that's also higher order thinking because you are asking them to extrapolate. That is, from the case study, you are asking them to analyze, put it in the graph, and then evaluate what is the outcome of that presentation. So it comes on the high. It's actually manipulating data also. So manipulating data also comes under higher order thinking.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, may I?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So to develop the higher order thinking skills within the students, first of all, I would like to promote the analytical thinking within them by asking the students to examine the cause and the effect relationship. For example, if I consider my neutralization reaction, so I would ask the students to compare the different neutralization reactions and analyze how the strength of the acids and the bases affect the final pH of the solution. So this is how analysis can be done. And next is the evaluating stage in which I will ask the students to justify their answers or their decisions with proper scientific reasoning. For example, again, the neutralization, if I take, I may ask the students that out of lime, baking soda, and antacid, which will be more effective to neutralize an acid spill or an acidic soil, for example. So that will be an evaluating stage. And the last stage is the creating, where I will ask students to create something very new and with their using their own skills and ideas. It can be like how neutralization can solve the real life problems, like how it can be used to treat the indigestion problems, how it can be used to treat any
Megha, those are all
burns.
textbook. Those are all textbook ones.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. This one is if it's beyond the textbook, for example, I don't know whether you have this in the textbook. For example, you have 3 different acids. Your real life is also going to get connected because I'm just giving you a suggestion. You think about it. You take HCl, H2SO4, you can take citric acid, acetic acid, organic acid, you take one. Okay. Same base, 20 ml, 20 ml, 20 ml. Okay. Ask the students. Now remember that 1 ml, 1 ml that we did. Ask the students to find out how many ml is needed of each of these acids to neutralize these, and ask them now to analyze which is the strong acid, which is the weak acid. Okay, which one they would, and ask them, remember to have a thermometer also.
Okay.
To measure the temperature. Okay, when you're adding the acid. Ask them, which do you think is the safest method of neutralizing an acid in your stomach? Neutralizing an acid when it is spilled on the floor. Okay. Neutralizing the acid when it is near a tree.
Okay.
Now, this is the real life situation you're asking them to analyze. That's not in the textbook. So they will have to think on multiple perspectives and come.
Okay.
So now what you're going to do is you're going to give them the real life connect also. You have taught them, but now this is a different scenario that they have to do it practically and tell why they are using these acids in these scenarios. So that way it will give you a better idea. For example, a stain is in the sink. Which acid will you prefer? So they have to think from multiple perspectives. Tell them not to think from only the chemistry viewpoint. They have to start thinking about the life. Okay, remember sensitive tissues, a plant is there. So which is the safer option? Why do you think that is a safer option? Now that becomes a higher order thing.
Higher order thinking. Right.
So that way you can make them.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? I think all of you have given. So there is one small activity. I'll give you this as homework because this will be shared, isn't it? So what you can do is, this is the checklist that you have to do. Assessment on the work. Did you check the level of the bottoms that you have used in the activity? Remember, it should match with the objective. Did you assess the topic as per the objective? Did you consolidate the learning of the period using a plenary? Plenary is an exit ticket or anything that you're using for feedback. Collect the feedback from your students. Collect feedback from your students. Okay, that details I'll tell you now. And this activity, this PPT will be shared with you. Please do this when you're coming for the next class. Transition between lessons, scaffolding for low achievers, preparation for resources, differentiation of learning, assessment preparation, how you're going to plan your future lessons. Now remember, this will also go into your evidence of reflection. That is why I'm asking you to do this as an activity for next week. Okay, activity log. You will have to cover 3 activities. All the teaching and learning activities that you have chosen for your activity log must be new in some way. Provides information on aspects of the lesson that makes the lesson inclusive. Make comments in the lesson evaluation box on what went well in the lesson, what aspects you would like to improve. I've already given you an example of how to go about doing it. Learning activities to meet students' learning needs, differentiating activity by task outcome, directed questioning using open and closed. These are all inbuilt in your lesson plan. So don't specifically mention questioning. Okay. So what you have to do is, now your unit 3 lesson plan, EOL notes must be done. Activity log. Remember, 2 activities cannot be conducted on the same day. Don't tell me 2 periods were there, I conducted. No, it has to be on the next day. 2 activities implemented from the lesson plan should not be taken into activity log. Only 1 activity should be taken forward to the activity log. So any questions you have, please let me know. Any questions, any clarifications? Don't send me the Excel sheet. Keep it ready for your next class. Remember, all these are your basis for your evidence of reflection. Any questions you have, please let me know. Okay. So if there are no questions, we can call it a day. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes, Rupa.
I have one question, ma'am. You just approved the lesson plan. I just need to implement it because of that. I just couldn't implement that. After that only, I should do the unit 3 activities. After
Yes, after your mentor feedback.
After EOL and EOR will be completed from unit 2. Okay, then only I should start unit 3.
No, Rupa, listen. You implement your unit 2. Ask
Yes,
your
ma'am.
mentor to complete the observation report and start
Okay.
working on unit 3 lesson plan. Parallelly complete EOL and EOR and submit.
Okay. Okay. And
Unit 3 lesson. But
remember
one thing. Remember one thing, EOL of Unit 2 should not be confused with the lesson planning of Unit 3. That alone you will have to take care.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
I'll just
Unit 3 lesson plan also should not be implemented till I approve it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. That I will not do.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yamini, I've received yours. I will check by today evening and I will send it. Sarah, can you just wait? I will just give you a little clarification on what you have to do. Then you can. Okay. Morning, I saw your LP. I'll give you. Yeah.
Is it a lot of changes that I have to do it or small changes?
Yes, you will have to totally rechange it. I'll tell you.
Okay, ma'am.
Megha, you've submitted your unit 2? Your unit 2 have done, no, Megha? Your unit 2, you have completed the observation report and sent?
Yes, everything is sent,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'll check. I didn't check it. I'll check.
Yes.
Others, you can leave.